We're in New Straitsville. Shannon's going to give you some shots of the different places here. But this town was known for its coal mining and its oil wells. If you ever look at pictures of this town, you'll see oil wells on every corner of every hill up here. There was a lot of oil in this area. This is Perry County. And there was a lot of oil back in the time. They had derricks. And people had them out in their yards, and they was everywhere. So if you ever get a chance to come up here, it's also known as the moonshine capital of the United States. So a lot of moonshine whiskey come out of these hills. So if you ever get a chance to come up here, come up and enjoy it. They got a moonshine festival. I think it's sometime in May.
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, my wife said, but come up and enjoy it. You'll enjoy it. They have it right out on the street.
Here in New Straitsville, there's a lot to see. When someone's there, you can go check out the Monday Creek Restoration Project office. That's where Rural Action Watersheds are headquartered these days. You should also go over and check out Dunkel Hall. When it's open and people are around, there's a really dedicated community history group that meets there, and there's some cool museum items inside as well. And no matter what, when you stop in New Straitsville, you can't miss Robinson Cave. The hike up to Robinson Cave is dotted with interpretive signage, so you can learn about the history and the area on your way up the steps. You can also check out the member-made videos and interpretation resources folder and your 8/19 Wednesday folder on the orientation resources. Right now, I encourage you to hike up to Robinson's Cave and listen to this story from Alan and Candy Witham.
It used to be smoke was coming out of the ground all the time in New Straitsville. And the road caved in right there when you start up over the hill. They had to reroute the road. I used to drive this way when I'd come home from Cleveland. And I run like a maniac all the time. And I got down there and started to turn the corner, and there was a telephone pole in the middle of the road where they changed the road on me. So, but right there at the bottom of that hill on the left-hand side, if you come up here sometimes in the wintertime, you can see smoke coming up out of the ground right there. Okay, I can't think of the name of that road. Coal Run Road. But right there at the bottom, in that bottom, on the left-hand side, you'll see smoke coming up out of the ground still. They tried everything to get the coal to stop, but they couldn't get it to stop. The miners set the coal mines on fire when they were on strike, and they couldn't get it out. So it's still burning today. When you start up over the hill right there, where I told you they changed the road, there used to be a well, and the water was boiling in the well, and if you would set a frying pan on top of the well, you could cook an egg right there on top of that well in the frying pan. Pretty hot coming up out of the ground. So, some interesting things in this country. You know. So, that's about all.
You have anything to add, Candy?
I don't think so. I don't think they ever thought that that the fire would do that.
No, they never did.
But it went from vein to vein to vein to vein, until the whole place was on fire.
Now, the mine fires that was in Pittsburgh Hollow weren't the same ones that were here in New Straitsville. When I was a kid, that got set on fire down there by a guy. He was out squirrel hunting or rabbit hunting, I don't remember which. I knowed the guy. And he built a fire, and it got away from him in the slack, and it burned down through the hollow, but that's all it burned was down through the hollow. Well, that was enough, about 3 miles of woods down through there and coal. And when I was a kid, we used to stick a stick down in the ground. The stick would catch on fire, and then we'd throw the stick up over the hill and catch the woods on fire. Watch it burn. We used to do that. But it would have burned anyhow, because eventually it would have come out and burned them anyhow. But we just did it. We wanted to see it do it right then, So, yeah. But That's some of the things that kids do for sport in the country. And we don't have any YMCAs or nothing like that down here to where we can go out. We used to go into strip pits all the time and go swim. We weren't allowed in the strip pits to swim. And take a big rock and walk across the strip pit on the bottom of the pit. Never think about coming up into they used to drill shafts back in the hillside to get the coal out. Never thought about coming up in one of those shafts where you'd drown. You'd drown, just there wasn't no way you could get out. We did it. Nobody ever drowned, but it was a miracle in itself. Because the pit would just be going down through there like a big river, and then they would just, before they pulled out to leave, they'd just take a big auger and drill right back in the hole in the hillside. You could walk right back in there. That big auger was big enough you could walk back in there, and you could walk back in there. You could never got out. Probably why our parents didn't want us to go into strip pits.
Probably.
Oh, crazy kids. But I made it. I did. And then I went to Cleveland and found me a girlfriend and brought her down here and raised 2 kids down here. And both of them got away from here as quick as they could. One of them went to Cleveland, one of them went to Kentucky.
At least your girlfriend stuck around.
My girlfriend stuck around.
On your way from New Straitsville to the Sunday Creek Pine Run Doser, you're going to go right by the town of Shawnee. Now, Shawnee is an interesting place, and there are also lots of resources about Shawnee in the Wednesday Resources folder. There is a video that George Blankenhorn made about the Lake Loop Trail around Tecumseh Lake, and now is a great time to check that out. And then on the main street of Shawnee, there's a lot going on. Tecumseh Theater, Ohio's Hill Country Heritage Area, Ohio's Winding Road, and Little Cities of Black Diamonds are all headquartered there. Burr Beard is the Ohio's Hill Country Heritage Area AmeriCorps member this year. And the main street of Shawnee is also home to the office of the Buckeye Trail Association. And there are 3 AmeriCorps members there, Preston, Chris, and John this year. So check out Shawnee, explore a little bit, look around, and then when you get home and back to your computer, look at all of the different videos that are available for you to watch. And there's also Grant Joy, who is an alum with our program, made an interpretive tour guide, and Shawnee is one of the cities that's in that. He also made a Shawnee walking tour, which is linked in the Google Doc titled More Awesome Regional History and Recreation Asset Training Videos Resources.